All right, so the Oklahoma Sooners are not only just recruiting five-star offensive linemen, which is what they excel at, but they have a five-star cornerback coming to campus during one of these junior days, and we got to talk about it. I also want to dive into a five-star offensive tackle that Oklahoma is pursuing into this class as well. Kind of throw my thoughts in the ring and kind of what we were able to collect from him, and then we're going to talk about another visit for a quarterback coming in this week. So a lot of news to cover today. Before we get into it, as always, I want to hear from y'all, so make sure you join the discussion, jump in the comments below, give me your thoughts, and if you guys are new to the channel and you guys have not already, make sure you wipe your feet, hit that like, hit the subscribe button. I want you to be a part of this community as we bring you guys recruiting content all off season long. It's completely free to you. All you have to do is hit that subscribe button and continue to tune in. But today I want to talk about a five-star cornerback that announced he's going to be visiting Oklahoma for one of their events that they're calling Future Freaks. Now, obviously, I think it's expected that, during this event, you usually see future classes, not the current class you're recruiting. So for this one, we would expect to see a lot of 27, 28, maybe even some 29 kids, but you're going to have some 2026 kids on campus. And Brandon Arrington Jr., this is a prospect that we've talked about before, announced he's going to be back in Norman. And in my opinion, this is actually pretty significant. So obviously, I think one of the biggest complaints for Oklahoma fans, like you and myself, have been that Oklahoma has not recruited the cornerback position at, I think, as elite of a level as they could. I mean, we've seen Jay Valai at other schools go out there and be in contentions for guys like this, all the way down to the end and actually go out there and land them. But Brandon Arrington is a prospect that I think if he comes to Oklahoma, I definitely think he could probably compete day one with a lot of the guys in this room. And one of the things you love about Brandon Arrington is his size. Now, you might ask me, well, he's listed as an athlete, so why do you think he will play corner? Well, I've actually had a chance to talk to him, and I know that Oklahoma is recruiting him on the defensive side of the ball, and Jay Valai is his main recruiter. So that kind of tells you all you need to know. But listen, Brandon Arrington is a two-sport athlete. And I think it's important to know, though, that he is one of the fastest sprinters in the country. Now, I know Oklahoma track and field are doing really well this year, but when you look at prospects like Brandon Arrington, who usually, will probably play in the track and field at some level or do something with the Olympics. Not saying Arrington's doing the Olympics, but, just kind of giving you an example, right? Usually those kids go to schools with really good elite track and field programs. So if you're an Oklahoma fan, that might be a battle that you have to fight uphill for. Now, you do look at it and you see his long, his athletic frame. You see why on both sides of the ball, he's been able to put up, I think, pretty decent numbers. Kind of looking at the defensive side of the ball and what he's been able to do over 2 years. 37 solo tackles, 51 total tackles. He has had 1 fumble recovery. He's had 3 pass breakups, 1 interception. So with that size going into a Brent Venables defense with Jay Valai at the helm, I definitely think he could be developed into a pretty good corner. And then on the offensive side of the ball, as a wide receiver, 11 touchdowns, 953 yards. Again, an elite player on that side of the ball as well. So you look at Brandon Arrington, been to Oklahoma before. I believe he's only been here once, and that was last July. So really big to get Brandon Arrington back on campus. And this is a chance for Oklahoma to go out here and sell him as, hey, like, we see you in this class. We see you playing a significant role here at Oklahoma. And this visit is going to tell you all you need to know on whether or not Brandon Arrington could end up at Oklahoma. Now, another visit that I wanted to talk about is a visit from a 4-star quarterback in Bo Bentley. So Bo Bentley will be up here on campus February 1st. And this is intriguing. And the reason why it was intriguing was because Oklahoma already has a commit from Jaden O'Neal. Now, you guys know where I stand on this. I think Jaden O'Neal is one of the top quarterbacks in this class. He has been showing out at camps. He showed out at the camps when he came to Oklahoma last summer, and he's going to continue to rise through the rankings. Now, I also understand what Oklahoma is doing here. They're trying to land more depth at the quarterback position because you never know what it's going to look like. Oklahoma is trying to prevent the Texas game from 2022 where your quarterback goes down and you don't have enough depth to be able to go out there and play a serviceable game at that position. So the Oklahoma Sooners are likely, probably by looking at them offering another elite dude in this cycle, looking at the possibility of maybe not having anybody in this class kind of staying around. So you're going to have Jaden O'Neal committed. Maybe Michael Hawkins stays committed, but the kid that you got from Western Carolina sounds like, he's going to be gone. He's a senior. If John Mateer has the year we expect him to, he could bounce off to the NFL. And Jet New, by early reports, has been phenomenal in the spring, early winter practices, right? So he could end up bouncing to maybe going back home up towards Washington or in the Utah region, right? And then Oklahoma's kind of just left with two quarterbacks. So, yeah, you'll have to take a guy out of the portal, but it'd be nice to have another young guy out of the recruiting cycle. So that's all I think this is. I don't think they're going to be able to get a guy like Bo Bentley, though. I think you're going to have to see Oklahoma do something like they've done the past couple of cycles where they get one of those lower three-tier star-graded quarterbacks, guys that necessarily aren't going to come in and compete right away, but they're guys that can go in and potentially be longer development projects, guys that know they are a second string quarterback. So although he's on campus, I don't expect anything to happen here. But of course, we'll follow it. We'll keep up what's going on. And then last but not least, the 5-star offensive tackle that I think it's time and worth it that we have a discussion about. And you guys know me. I love talking to the offensive linemen, diving into their recruitment. So be straightforward with you. 5-star offensive tackle, Felix Ojo. I got a chance to talk to him and follow up with him after he got his prediction submitted to go to the University of Texas after he was just there this weekend. And yeah, he's been to Texas a couple times, but, at the end of the day, let's be honest, Texas has probably got the most available and ready spot for Felix Ojo. But I think Felix Ojo also understands the development portion that Bill Bedenbaugh has been able to do with the offensive linemen and putting them into the first round, and could probably help Felix actually achieve his goals. So I got a chance to kind of talk to him about it. And by the way, did not know this. Did you guys know Felix Ojo plays basketball? So another two-sport athlete. And when you see your big men out there playing basketball, that tells you that they could be good with their feet, which with an offensive lineman, you kind of want. So I did ask, what was the scoop with the Texas prediction? Is this something that Oklahoma fans actually need to be concerned about? Because I, for some reason, saw all of you freaking out about it on the social medias. And quite frankly, he just put it to me like this. Nothing really. I just like Texas, but I'm not committing till I take all of my official visits. So what that tells me is, Texas is probably a top school for him. Texas is definitely going to be in the running down the stretch. As I told you guys at the beginning of the cycle, this will likely become an OU-Texas battle, just like we saw with Michael Fasusi. And it's one where probably Texas is going to win it because at the end of the day, Texas has to replenish their tackles, and they need to do it at an elite level. And after they lost out on Michael Fasusi last cycle and really didn't get one of those elite guys out of the state, they're going to go out there and try to get the Turntines, who's John Turntine could end up being a guard. So Felix Ojo could be their prize tackle in this class. Not to mention, he's probably going to take other visits to other teams in the state. So right now, Texas is his only official visit, but he said he's going to take one to Oklahoma. And this is just a recruitment that we got to watch, but understanding kind of the situation Oklahoma's in. You got two elite offensive tackles last cycle, right? Texas did not. Texas needs an elite tackle. If he goes to Texas, you understand the circumstances. But it's a long recruitment. It sounds like his recruitment is still open. So Oklahoma fans don't need to panic just yet. But that's all I got for you guys today. So if you guys have not already and you guys haven't, make sure you guys hit that like, hit the subscribe button. Because like I said, we're going to be covering recruiting content all off season long. It's free to you. All you need to do is subscribe. We'll catch you guys tomorrow.